In the scorching heat of a hellish summer, where the heat almost burns everything, the Sahara Desert emerges with its brutal force. The dry winds from the desert carry massive dust storms, capable of burying an entire caravan under the endless dunes. This is the heart of the Sahara, where the barren, desolate landscape resembles the moon, evoking a sense of alienation and harshness. Amidst this lifeless land, a solitary railway crosses the desert, the Mauritania Railway, renowned as one of the most extreme rail routes in the world. The tracks of this train line seem to lead into a post-apocalyptic world, just like scenes from the movie Mad Max. Today, we will share with you the story of this incredible journey, where the harshness of nature and the resilient will of humanity intertwine, creating a captivating and challenging tale. In 1963, Mauritania, a low-income Muslim country in West Africa, witnessed the inauguration of a unique railway line connecting the Zoré iron mines with the current seaport of Taïbout. This railway line, the only one in Mauritania's transportation system, runs through the Sahara Desert, creating an opportunity to transport valuable iron ore from the arid land to the seaport and from there to international markets across the Atlantic Ocean. Before the construction of this railway, iron ore mining in Mauritania faced many transportation limitations. However, since 1963, this narrow railway has significantly contributed to the country's GDP. By 1974, both the railway and the iron mines were nationalized and managed by the National Industrial Corporation. Today, the mining industry plays a crucial role in the economy of the West African region. Each year, the Mauritania Railway transports an average of 15.6 million tons of iron ore for export. The railway spans 704 kilometers through the harsh desert, with massive trains over 2 kilometers long. Each train is pulled by 3 to 4 locomotives, carrying around 250 freight cars, each loaded with over 80 tons of iron ore. The total weight of the entire train can reach up to 16,000 tons, making the journey through the Sahara Desert a significant challenge. Although the desert may appear flat from a distance, it is actually a series of obstacles, with steep climbs and descents that the enormous train must navigate. This railway is not only a symbol of resilience, but also a testament to the strength of Mauritania's mining industry, playing a crucial role in the country's economic development. This desert train is considered the longest and slowest journey in the world, as each day it glides slowly across barren fields, pulling the caravan at a speed of less than 50 km/h. A one-way trip takes more than 20 hours, and sometimes it can stretch over several days. Despite this, the train plays a crucial role as the backbone of Mauritania's economy, laying the foundation for the country's development and stability. In addition to transporting goods, the train also carries valuable water tanks to villages in Mauritania, where water is as precious as gold in the harsh conditions of the arid land. Thanks to the train, these impoverished villages are able to survive. The Bedouin people, from isolated villages, walk to the railway line in search of food supplies. Some have even settled closer to the tracks, working in camps or taking part in railway maintenance. The track maintenance system relies on a network of specialized cables, but due to constant sandstorms, the system cannot function properly without human intervention. The sensors are often covered with sand, and the locals have the important task of clearing obstacles from the tracks. An interesting image is that of traditional beacons watching over the trains, where locals still maintain an ancient custom. Train drivers often throw bread out of the windows for the Bedouin moving close to the tracks. No one quite remembers when or who started this tradition, but for the desert dwellers, sometimes this is the only way for them to get a piece of bread on this arduous journey. Imagine a thrilling adventure on Mauritania's legendary train, traveling across the vast and harsh desert. This is not just an ordinary journey, but an opportunity to explore the familiar route of the Mauritanians, delving into the unique social and economic mission of this train, often referred to as the ghost train. The entire train consists of open freight cars, mainly carrying green iron ore. At the back of the train, reserved for wealthier passengers, there is one or two old, run-down carriages with no electricity and barely distinguishable from the freight cars, covered only by a simple roof. Here, Passengers spend the long night sleeping on the train floor, cooking, and making tea with small gas stoves. However, not many people choose this comfort, as the tickets are quite expensive. Most Bedouins prefer traveling on the open freight cars, despite it being an extremely dangerous mode of transport and officially prohibited. They simply sit on piles of iron ore, disregarding the risks and safety threats. Notably, traveling on these open freight cars is free, but it's not easy. You need to be prepared and compete with others to secure a spot in these filthy cars, where dust and desert winds are your companions. The train departs early in the morning, but don't expect a fixed schedule. The journey is often interrupted by long stops at intermediate stations, making this adventure an unpredictable journey. Yet, it is precisely this uncertainty that creates an irresistible allure for those who love to explore and want to experience true desert life. The journey to Nouadhibou is not just a simple trip, but a real challenge for those who want to explore this harsh land. People often have to wait for hours, sometimes all night, at the station before boarding the train. Once they arrive, the race to secure a spot on the desert train begins. There are no tickets. Passengers hurriedly load goats, donkeys, and goods onto the train cars, bringing along their belongings and families. Once everything is arranged, they sit on piles of dirty iron ore, preparing for a journey that is anything but comfortable. The train slowly departs, and the passengers quickly adapt to the cramped space. They sit, lie down, eat, and drink right on the uneven piles of iron ore. Natural needs are also taken care of right on the spot, with no other option. People jump from car to car while the train is moving, and when the train slows down, the cars crash into each other, creating the feeling that it's about to derail. Those moving between cars easily fall onto the tracks and could be killed under the wheels of the train. For those unwilling to spend an extra $3 on a ticket, the journey is even more grueling. Imagine sitting in a train car from the 1970s without doors, windows, seats, cushions, lights, or even a restroom. Everything is covered in dust, while luggage and goods are piled to the ceiling in narrow corridors. This image is not just of an old train, but of Mauritania's dead train, where there is no room for comfort or cleanliness. Yet, at least the passengers have a restroom, though it lacks a sink or flushing system. This journey is a clear testament to the harshness of life in the desert, where any comfort is a luxury. Among the passengers on the Mauritania Desert Crossing train are curious tourists, business travelers, and job seekers. They don traditional Arafat scarves to shield themselves from the sand, but despite their efforts, dust still seeps through the fabric, covering their bodies in a thick layer. During the day, desert temperatures can reach up to 40 degrees, but when the sun sets, the cold suddenly descends. In winter, frost occasionally blankets the ground. Passengers on this journey constantly face danger, but all the hardships are compensated by the breathtaking scenery of the dunes, where the sun slowly dips during sunset. Those who have endured this harsh journey often cannot forget the unique experience, and afterward, any regular train ride might seem luxurious to them. For adventure lovers, this is an opportunity to challenge themselves. However, for the locals, this train is the only means to cross the harsh desert in search of food or a better life. Along the journey, you'll see rocks, sand, shrubs, camels, goats, and lonely, worn-out huts amidst the vast desert. And of course, sand is everywhere. But once your eyes adjust to the wild landscape and your body begins to acclimate, you will start to notice the subtle shades of sand under different angles and lighting, revealing a hidden beauty within this unforgiving land. As night falls, you will have the opportunity to witness the stunning sight of the Milky Way stretching across the sky amidst a tranquil and serene atmosphere. Walking around the train is unsupervised, giving you the freedom to explore, but this can be risky since there are no barriers or safety measures in place. When the train departs, it moves very slowly, occasionally causing sudden, strong jolts throughout the journey. According to the official schedule, the train does not stop anywhere between Nouadhibou and Shum. However, there are instances when the train pauses for passengers to perform prayer rituals. Some people disembark to carry out religious rites and quickly return when the train begins to move again. For tourists, this ritual may seem unfamiliar, but for the locals, it is an indispensable part of their religious life. The majority of the population in Mauritania follows Islam, and practicing their faith is of great importance. Here, there is no place for atheists, as renouncing religion can be punished by death. The departure and arrival times of the train are unclear, so you may have to wait quite a while before the trip begins. While Mauritania does not have many prominent tourist attractions, this train is truly a national treasure. Despite the harsh traveling conditions, the locals are very proud of and respect this train, to the extent that its image even appears on the national currency. Unfortunately, Mauritania is also the last country in the world where slavery still exists. Although slavery was officially abolished in 1980, about 20% of the population still lives in slavery, and their children are born into it, continuing to be forced into slavery. This railway is not only one of the harshest train routes in the world, but also resembles a survival challenge in the desert, where danger lurks more than in an ordinary train journey. Thank you for accompanying X-Tech throughout today's video. If you find this content helpful and interesting, please like and share to spread the information. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell to stay updated with our latest content. Your feedback will help us improve every day, so feel free to leave a comment below. Thank you very much, and we look forward to seeing you in future videos. Wishing you all energy and success.